Hey there, welcome back to the vlog. So today I want to cover some topical news that is to do with security in Canada. Now if you've never been to Canada, here's what you need to know. We have a telephone company here called Bell Canada. Now they're useless, and when I say they're useless I mean both technically and as an organisation. So as an example, where the whole world has the World Mental Health Day in October, Bell Canada, as part of purchasing an advertising company, they decided to fulfill this tangible benefits clause that one of the regulators was putting on them. They would misappropriate the Mental Health Day and basically get the public to start tweeting and sending text messages that is basically giving advertising back to Bell, and then Bell would give some money as a result of this to charity. So on the one hand, this would be like me saying, right, okay, I am going to make Christmas go away and I'm going to move it into the middle of summer, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you with your money and your time to start making long distance phone calls and text messages and things like this, and I will maybe give back about 10 cents on the dollar. So in other words, I'm banking all this money, you're doing all the work, and somehow this is going down as a tangible benefit. Now, on top of that, they are also just bloody useless when it comes to security. So going back to 2013, I approached Bell and I said, you've got a problem where you can access other customers' information. Now, I was a Bell customer at the time, and I was able to access other people's information. So I did what you'd expect me to do. I went and told Bell. Of course, Bell was like, no, that is impossible. This cannot happen. So, I escalated my way up, and I eventually got to some lady, Sheila something or other. Sheila McDonough? No, Sheila... Anyway, her name was Sheila, and she was a privacy person, like a head of privacy ombudsman or whatever she was. Anyway, long story short, I get this lady on the phone and I said to her, it's like, you've got a leaking problem here, like, you can access other people's data. And she's like, well, no, that's not possible. And I'm like, yes, it is. And I was like, I'll prove it. So I gave her the username and password and address of another Bell customer. Now, rather than go, thank you, can we, try and nail down what this is, I basically got the, if you ever do that again, we're going to, basically sue you. So I'm like, well, okay, if I'm trying to raise that you've got a problem and I'm trying to demonstrate a problem when your people are saying you don't have a problem, and you're now shooting the messenger, what incentive is there for me to ever report a problem again? So of course, when they then said, like, if you'd like to speak to somebody about this, we can get somebody to contact you. I'm like, well, how am I going to do that if I can't demonstrate what the problem is, right? So long story short, about a year after that, Bell got hacked in a major way in 2014. I think the two events are not a coincidence. Anyway, that's history. Fast forward another year or so, I run into a problem, this time with runaway data and Bell Canada and Yellow Pages. Now, again, I end up back in front of this same woman again. And long story short, she refused to back down. So I did what I've done quite often, where it's like, okay, let that person think they're winning and then just go and resolve the problem. Like, if you're not part of the solution, then what are you? So yeah, I just basically went around her. In Canada, in order to get to the Privacy Commissioner, anybody else that's implicated has to also be asked, are you going to resolve the problem as well? And if they all say no, then you go to the Privacy Commission, and the Privacy Commissioner is quite happy that you've run out of options with everybody involved. So in the case of Yellow Pages, their lawyers were like, yeah, no, we are not standing shoulder to shoulder with Bell Canada on this issue. This is stupid. And it literally took about 20 minutes for them to go, right, okay, anything in future that ever comes out of Bell Canada that has your name on it, we're just going to erase it. Because it was stupid. I was having leaking data that once it was out, Bell Canada was just like, meh, yeah, daft. So fast forward to today, I'm going through the news and I suddenly realised that there was a news story yesterday I missed, and it was all to do with Bell Canada. Apparently they've lost another 100,000 accounts again. So what struck me this time is it's not in the millions, and so that normally means that it's something specific to either a small group of people or a small system somewhere, like how do you just have 100,000 users? So I had to quickly look around and find something within Bell that looked like it might have around that number. And if you go to the Google Play Store, it's public knowledge. You can see how many people are using various apps, and my feeling is that it is one of the apps, and specifically I'm gonna put my neck out here and make a guess that it's the Bell 5 dashboard. for Android. You know, there are certain things about it. Anybody that's ever had a look at some of their apps will instantly notice that there's something about this particular app. And you know, I'm obviously, for legal reasons, not going to say what that something is. But if you know what you're looking for, that's in my guess. If I was a betting man, I would say this is the smoking gun. So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to speak with Bell about this. Obviously, if you're RCMP or anybody else, or the Privacy Commissioner, then yeah, I'm more than happy to talk. Yeah, so I'm not going to speak to Bell. Like, they can just take a long walk off a short pier. Like, I am not dealing with those people ever again. Like, they burned that bridge. So that's my thoughts at the moment. As I said, like, I've noticed for many years now there is a problem at Bell, and I think largely it's a cultural one. They almost have the same problem that the banks do, where they're like, we're big, we're Canadian, we've got a monopoly almost, and therefore we don't need to listen to you. So this type of problem is what happens. And also, if you look at the types of people that work there, they're also the same types of people who work in other large Canadian organisations like a bank. So what you've got is this mindset that's sort of going around where they act and behave like they're a bank, but they're not. They're just a telephone company with a media arm to it. So yeah, I do have a very cynical view when it comes to Bell Canada, and it's really deeply seated in history because I used to be a Bell Canada customer, and I just find them absolutely detestable. Like, they are very bad. So I'm no longer a customer. They were actually one of the reasons I cut the cord, and then I went over to TechSavvy for the internet. And TechSavvy, they're brilliant. I love them to bits. Like, those guys are really good. But Bell Canada, I mean, they're abysmal. And every time I have a TechSavvy outage, it's still Bell Canada that's always at fault. So but yeah, they're just absolutely deplorable. So anyway, that's it for today. Very quick one. And if you like these types of videos, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. If you want to see more, please hit subscribe, and speak to you soon. Thanks. Bye.